So the motion should have been corrected.
He knows the result will be the same, Chair. He's just trying to keep our things clean.
The vote was to vote on reappointment, and we did not have a 2/3 vote to change the agenda item.
Correct.
Evaluate and performance on the reappointment of the elections officer. The motion was to not reappoint him.
Okay, so
That motion failed.
the agenda item is vote on the reappointment of the chief election officer. Vote on the reappointment. We did not have 2/3 vote to change the language of this. We never voted on that. So we need to vote on what's on the agenda.
The motion was not to reappoint him. Reappointment is on the agenda. And anything I would refer to,
Stella,
what were you saying, Adrian?
maybe Stella can give us some insight. I'm okay either way, because I mean, I appreciate Commissioner.
The agenda is merely on the topic. You folks vote on the motion.
And the motion stands defeated, which means that he is reappointed. And I ask if there's any other agenda on today's calendar. And I don't see it.
I object to that.
You're welcome to.
I think you can have a motion to reappoint.
Yeah, so Dylan was confused on what motion we were, and we did not have a 2/3 vote to change the agenda. We're voting not reappointing him. We are voting on reappointing him. And that makes a huge difference with the vote count. Because the other wording, the tie means he doesn't carry and he would not be appointed.
So you could still make an additional motion here.
So the motion on the floor should be to vote on the reappointment.
Yes,
That wasn't the motion.
Reappoint him.
The motion
Yeah.
was to not reappoint him, and that was on the agenda.
That's not how it was on the agenda. So my motion is to vote on the reappointment of chief elections officer.
Second,
Stella, wasn't this already decided with the prior motion?
I believe it was.
So that vote stands.
But we didn't have a 2/3 vote to change that.
As I
The
said
agenda
before,
item.
the agenda is about the topic, but the actual motion is what is voted on.
right, but according to Robert's rules, you need to reappoint him to the position. It was a negative motion. So
Right.
and that's why the motion, that was a negative motion that was made. We should have corrected it. I apologize. I wasn't paying that close attention. It should have been corrected prior to the vote. So now you need a motion to appoint him.
Right.
Voting in a negative is not in order for parliamentary procedure.
Correct.
Then Dylan should be shot.
keeping us on our toes. Keeping us on our toes.
You're the boss, so you need a new motion.
I
I don't need a new
motion,
motion. The agenda's over with as far as I'm concerned.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
I
To who?
second that.
Well, let's vote on the appeal of the chair.
Second, roll call. Chair.
Yes? What are you talking about, Dylan?
We need a vote on the appeal of the chair.
So
It's been
what are
moved.
you appealing? You're appealing my ruling that the last vote stands and our agenda's over and I can adjourn the meeting. You're
Correct.
appealing that.
Well, no,
So-
I'm not. Ralph is. I'm seconding it.
Okay, so the appeal is whether I adjourn the meeting or not.
That you can't
No.
vote on it.
The appeal
No, the
is,
vote is on the appeal that Ralph made. So we vote on the appeal and then you can adjourn.
All those in favor of the appeal, I would have a roll call vote again.
Debate,
Okay,
Do it in the positive.
always.
what would you like to say? Would comment on the appeal of,
Well, a discussion on his, on Ralph's motion.
this is on my end in the agenda and terminating the meeting.
No,
So- That's the comment, that's the appeal that's on the floor, up for discussion and vote by the Elections Commission. Right?
Okay, let's vote.
We didn't properly vote on number 11, and we want to properly vote on it in the positive.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
you said,
regardless
you
of the
can't vote it
appeal,
in negative.
Appealing.
we still need to still make,
we
A
still
motion
need a
to
motion to appoint after
Yeah.
this, yeah.
so it's been moved and seconded.
To appeal my decision to accept the last vote as
Now we
eliminate.
can't make up a new motion because we have to.
No, we
Yeah,
don't have to.
We do, or else
We voted on your motion and it lost. So
you're-
now Ralph
Point-
appealed, and now the discussion is on the appeal of whether we have to
We have to-
continue the agenda.
We have to vote to appoint him.
right, the rules are very clear that the Office of Elections must vote to appoint him. Reappoint.
We are voting on the appeal, folks. Let's get
That is
that
what-
off the table.
This is
So
my
so
deep,
Ralph's appealing the chair's decision that the last vote stands and the meeting will be adjourned. Discussion
No, you
on
didn't.
that.
say anything about adjourned. The motion is to appeal your ruling that motion, that ruling is incorrect. We
Okay,
should have a motion to reappoint.
so my ruling
No.
was that the motion that did not pass
Correct.
was to find somebody else to replace Scott. That didn't pass. Now, that's my ruling, and Ralph challenged my ruling, and that's what you get to vote on now.
Correct.
Correct.
So I would call a roll call on Ralph's challenge to my position.
Commissioner Andreon,
Yes.
Commissioner Aquino,
Thumbs up, Anita, or down? Anita, you got it? Okay, that's a thumbs up for Anita. Yes.
Commissioner Kushney,
Yes,
Commissioner Kiguchi,
No.
Commissioner Kuwata, excuse, Commissioner McAdam,
No.
Commissioner Papalimu,
Yes.
Commissioner Takenaka,
No,
Chair Curtis.
No. And with that, I'll adjourn the meeting.
You don't want a motion to reappoint him?
We
My
need to take,
my ruling was that
appeal
he's
is-
reappointed because the kicking out did not win. And
We're
that was
still-
my ruling that we just voted on, and that vote did not pass either.
Okay.
So I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
vote to adjourn.
Second.
I didn't make a movement. I think we need to take the vote, Chair, to appoint.
That motion just died.
I mean, the appeal died, but the motion still
Well,
needs, we
but-
still have to, this is gonna come back.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't
be-
remove
Be
him.
clear and clean about this.
Then
Stella, could you
can ask-
clarify for us, as of right now, where things stand? Is Scott reappointed?
No.
He's not eliminated.
we did not vote to
But
reappoint
we
him.
need a vote in the affirmative for him. Is my
Right.
point. We got rid of the
Yes.
negative, but
The vote in the negative died. It didn't pass. That means he's still with us.
No, it doesn't.
It
does.
doesn't.
The agenda says we're gonna vote to appoint him.
And the motion was to not reappoint him.
That was a
That
bad motion.
lost.
That was a bad motion. The motion, the agenda item is to reappoint him.
Again, the agenda provides the topics that will be discussed at the meeting. You folks vote on the actual motions.
And the actual motion was to not reappoint him, and that motion lost.
But you can't have a negative motion is what I'm saying, is we need a positive motion.
Well, we can make a motion and someone can still second it.
No, we're adjourned.
You need a motion to adjourn.
I motion to redo the vote the way it's written on the agenda.
Second,
The meeting's been adjourned.
it hasn't. There has to be a consensus for adjournment.
I don't think so. I think that the agenda's over and I can adjourn the meeting. We've disposed of the agenda items and adjournment.
There's a motion and a second on the floor.
No,
I think-
I adjourn the meeting prior to that.
That
Stella?
motion, yeah, the motion was to appeal Chair Curtis's decision and his decision to adjourn the meeting. And that motion failed.
So the meeting is adjourned. we'll
And he
meet-
will not have been appointed by the office
Correct.
of election.
He has to not have been appointed.
He will not have been appointed by the office of elections.
That's why it matters. And the
Would
motion,
want
take it out.
him to be appointed. The office of elections must appoint. It doesn't say we
Elections
must
Commission.
not fire. It says we must appoint.
I motion to appoint Scott
Ella?
Nago.
second,
Second,
Phil, I adjourn the meeting, yeah?
That's my recollection.
That's my action. Aloha.
we need to take the vote.
the vote to adjourn
And the vote to appoint.
and the vote to appoint.
I motion to appoint Scott Nago.
Second,
It's already been motioned and seconded. We need a vote, Chair. The chair cannot adjourn the meeting. We need a motion to adjourn.
I think the chair's left, so now it's up to us. I'd like for the record to vote on this motion.
Without the chair.
So my vote is, no, and not appoint.
Not a point. No.
I vote no on reappointing him.
Anita,
Thumbs down, that's a no.
Mr. Kikuchi, are you still on?
Four thumbs down.
Mr. Kikuchi, are you still on? It says he's still here.
We're still recording.
well, guys, I think history will look back at this meeting and see that the four of us voted not against the motion to appoint. And that should be the ruling.